What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. We're going to start the summer beer series now with talking beer, which I'm really excited about because summer's my favorite beer season. There's just something about being able to be outside, being able to go poolside, beachside, lakeside, riverside, dockside, sitting out on your deck, whatever it might be. Summer beers are fun. It brings people together. Summer barbecues, cookouts, whatever it might be. So, this is my favorite time of the year for in general, anyway, and definitely for beer. So we're gonna start off. I have 7 beers today. I have another 7 for the next episode, and then I'm hoping to get my hands on some other stuff. I got beers from all up and down the East Coast. Right now, I've gone as far, been able to get stuff as far down as North Carolina and the Outer Banks right now. So we're going to talk about that in just a second because I got one of those beers here right now. So let's go ahead. Let's just dive right into this. It's a beautiful 92 degrees out. I'm going to hit the pool after we're done with this. And don't worry, I'm not drinking all this by myself. My wife is going to help me out once we're done making the video. So here we go. Let's talk about the first one. So the first one I have here is actually a Gose style, okay, or Gose, however you want to pronounce it. And this one's called Sailor's Dream, and it's from the Connecticut Valley Brewing Company, and it's a Calypso Cucumber Gose. All right, this beer is excellent. I've had all these beers before today, but I want to talk about them now with you. This is a great, refreshing summer beer. This is perfect poolside. It comes in at 4.8%, so it's not going to put you over the edge very quickly. So let's go ahead and get started with this one. Also, I have a variety of different beers here of varying styles. So that's the great thing about summer beers is that you can get multiple styles. And enjoy them no matter what, because there's so many varieties out there that are just so refreshing this time of the year when it's hot. No matter what you're doing, whether you're out mowing your lawn, don't operate machinery while you're drinking, have to say that, but once you're done, sit down, relax, enjoy one of these beers. And of course, these aren't the end all be all. There's literally thousands of different varieties of beers that fit perfect for summer by thousands of different breweries out there. So go try that stuff. So let's go ahead and go with this Calypso Cucumber Gose here. You can smell that sour Gose type of those notes there, but you can smell hints of that cucumber, and it's delicious. It's mild for a Gose sour type category. You still get a little bit of that hit, but it's not bad. So for those that aren't really into the whole sour beer category, this might be a good introduction into it, because you definitely get that about half of that flavor up front, and on the end is cucumber. And I mean, cucumbers are good anyway, so this works out really well. You let that sit in your tongue, it does still have that tang to it with that sour, but it's very mild. It's very refreshing beer, and it's definitely one of the more unique styles that or takes on a style that I've had. I can't say that I've had too many beers with cucumber in it. I have to look it up, to be honest with you, because I literally have logged thousands now, and this particular one does stand out, but I believe it might be the only cucumber beer that I've ever had. So cheers, Connecticut Valley. This is a delicious, refreshing summer beer. Ooh. Party foul. All right, so moving on to my next one. This one also happens to be a sour ale. All right, this one is Green Ghost from Woodland Farms Brewery, right down the road from me in Kittery, Maine. These guys are awesome. The brewery finally opened for patrons and the outdoor section of their tap room. They can't do indoor just yet, but with all the COVID-19 stuff that's been going on, it was amazing to finally get over, and they were open the first day they could. and it was great to just go and sit with these guys and enjoy a bunch of their beers. And now I've had Green Ghost before too, and this is a sour ale with Woodruff brewed in it. Comes in at 4.9%. Now this one's great, and you'll see here in a second why they call it the Green Ghost. All right, it's got a great label. Woodland Farms has a great artist. I'm not actually sure exactly who it is. I've been told who it is. I can't remember, but they have great art on all of their brews. It's really neat. But of course, it gets its name from being green, which is awesome. So there's not too many green beers out there, right? Unless you do that on with food coloring on St. Patrick's Day. This one is naturally green. Now, I'll be honest with you, the smell is a little off-putting, but don't let that deter you, okay? This is actually a good beer if you get a chance to try it. Unfortunately, this has kind of that not so good sour taste to notes on the smell for whatever reason. I think it's the Woodruff. But once you taste it, it's not that sour. This is another mild sour. This is one that you can probably get into because it's actually more bitter than it is sour, although it is pretty well balanced. It's not an in-your-face sour beer. So again, for those that aren't really into the whole sour beer scene, this might be a good one to try. Maybe it will get you into it. I don't know, but it is a decent beer. I do like this beer a lot. It's not my favorite sour in the world, but it is a good take. And Woodland Farms has always produced quality beers. I haven't had a beer from them I haven't liked yet. So cheers to you, Woodland Farms. I'll be coming back to you guys in just a moment, because I got another Woodland Farms beer coming up. So, all right. So I finished this off. Let's move on and talk about the next one. So next one we're moving on to is actually one of my recently favorite beers. It's a pale ale style, which is fine. I love pale ales. And this one is brewed with Amarillo, Citra, and pineapple. This isn't actually my favorite version of it, although it is good, and I do like this a lot, and I enjoy it when I do drink it. But this brewery offers another version of it in a double form, but it's not double in the way you would think. It's double the pineapple, and it tastes like you're drinking pineapple juice. Literally, like you went bought a Dole pineapple juice can, and you're drinking that. That's what it tastes like, which is great. So let's finish off this one from Woodland Farms, and we're going to move on to the next one. Delicious, absolutely delicious. So let's go on to the next one. This one is from York Beach Beer Company, and this is Long Weekend. This is a great beer. Of course, long weekend implies summertime. Get that long weekend going, out enjoying sights and all that stuff. Just all around, it's got a fun name to it, or an implied fun name. York Beach, again, another brewery right here local to me, just down the road here in my town, and they are delicious. And I'm not going to talk about their sister brewery today, but I do have stuff coming up from them too. That's some brewing over in York, and there's, like I said, their sister brewery to York Beach. As I think I've said before, York's got these weird, can't have chain restaurants, blah blah blah. Anyway, but both are good. They both produce great quality products, local products. So if you're up in my area, give these guys a try. So you got that nice golden color to it, nice white head to it, and not it's got enough carbonation in there, not over the top, but it's good. Looks like a pale. When you smell that, that citrus and pineapple really pops on this beer. You definitely can tell that you're about to have something with pineapple in it, and definitely got that those grapefruit, orange, definitely that citrus, really acidic notes to it. And this is smooth for a pale up front. It's got that little bitter hit at the end. The pineapple in this version is subtle, but it is there, so you can definitely taste it Um, I suppose some people I know can be a little bit more sensitive to the pineapple taste than others. So if you're a little bit more sensitive palate, you're probably going to pick up more on that pineapple than I am. But it's a delicious beer. This one comes in at, I believe, yeah, it is 5.7% alcohol by volume, and this is a wonderful beer. Not, again, another on the lighter side. This isn't going to put you over the edge. You can sit down, have a couple of these, and you'd be all right. With this one, this goes great with a lot of summer foods. Right, so if you're sitting down having a salad or something like that, it's delicious. If you're sitting down grilling, pretty much every food that you're going to get, this is going to go with it, especially barbecue, real barbecue, not cookout barbecue. We're talking like ribs and brisket and that kind of stuff. So it's definitely a good all-around summer beer that you can enjoy. It's got a little bit more of that, a little bit heavier in the sense that it is a pale, and it's got a little bit higher ABV, but solid beer. Cheers to York Beach. Delicious, absolutely delicious. So moving on, we're going to go a lot further south, further than Connecticut. This is the furthest south I've got. I said it earlier. This one is coming to us from Weeping Radish in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. These guys are awesome. Primarily German style, but they do a lot of lager, shandy, Kolsch style beers, and they're delicious. And if you get a chance to go down to OBX, visit these guys, because their brewery and restaurant and meat market is absolutely delicious. It's all German style. I went there a couple years back, a couple summers back, and they have a wonderful German style menu. So definitely like bratwurst and stuff like that. It's really good, and I know a lot of people my age don't appreciate liverwurst. I appreciate liverwurst. They had an awesome liverwurst and sweet potato, or with sweet potato, that I brought home, and I had it there at the brewery. It was absolutely delicious. So, and these guys brew German styles on the lighter side, so definitely more the wheat ale styles and the Kolsch and the shandies and the lagers. This one we're going to talk about is one of their flagships, and this one, it happens to be a traditional lager. This one is Corolla Gold, and of course you got the wild horses there. Corolla is one of the towns out on the Outer Banks, and they're known for their wild horses. Okay, and this particular one is goes to the Corolla Wild Horse Fund Incorporated, so it goes to help protect those animals. They're beautiful animals. They're out on the beach all the time. You can actually do tours to see them, or you can just 4x4 out onto the beach and see them for yourself, or walk out on the beach and you can probably see them. They're beautiful horses. One of the last places in the world that you can actually see wild horses. All right, so let's dig into this lager. This one comes in at 5.1%. It actually tells me the IBU on this one's 19. All right, and as the name implies, we have gold. Right, look at that beautiful gold color, just a little bit of carbonation, and that nice beautiful head, similar to a pale, but definitely that lager style. Malty, sweet on those notes. Definitely can tell you're dealing with lager yeast versus the ale yeast. And it definitely, it's sweet. You can smell that sweeter smell. Smooth, refreshing, and sweet. This I would compare to, it's right in that ballpark with like Sam 76. So it's on the lighter side of the lagers. I wouldn't put it in the Sam Adams category, and it's definitely not light enough to be into the like the Budweisers and stuff like that. But this is a good, solid traditional lager that is just it's enjoyable. There's a reason why it's a good summer beer, and it's great, and it goes to a good cause too. Part of that, it goes to protect those horses. So, cheers, Weeping Radish. You guys are great. I know there was a little mishap with the packaging on the way up here, but I'm glad that I was able to recover all but a couple of the beers. Cheers, Weeping Radish. I'll be seeing you guys again soon, ordering from you guys again soon. Delicious, absolutely delicious. So let's continue on with the lager style beers. All right. So this one is another brew from Woodland Farms. And they actually do a couple different versions of this, and I have one of them with me right now. And this one is the Cerveza con Lima El Medico. It's a Mexican style lager with lime. All right, they do a regular Cerveza Medico without lime, which is really good. They do that. That's one of their flagship beers. This one is really refreshing. You want to talk about getting just a good all-around beer for any time of the year, honestly, but especially here in the summer. So I went to the brewery the other day when they opened up and grabbed a 4-pack of this, so we could talk about it today, because this is just a delicious brew. All right, let's give this one a pour. So it comes in at, let me just pour this out and I'll tell you here in just a second. This one comes in at 4.9%, so again, another really light, not on the heavy side beer. It's got a nice light yellow color to it, right? Not a lot of carbonation. Definitely smell that lime on that. Absolutely, it's the first thing you smell. And even after trying all these other beers and not really clearing my palate like I should be, with water in between, I can still taste that nice, sweet, malty, more lager. Well, it is a lager, but it's definitely that sweeter lager beer. Light, refreshing, but that lime is definitely there. Put it up against like Corona or any of those, this will definitely stand on its own against any of those popular Mexican style beers. So cheers to Woodland Farms. This is a great product. I got 2 more we're going to talk about. All right, so we're going to move quick here because we're running out of time. The next 2 are actually fruit wheats, and they're both really good. And one isn't from the coast, actually. It's up in the mountains in New Hampshire, but it's still a great summer beer. And I like blueberry beers for the most part. There are some out there that can be not so great. They're okay. Others are like almost too much blueberry, but this particular one is actually a decent take. We'll come back to that later. So let's go ahead and talk about Mo Mountain Brewing Company in Mount Washington Valley. So this is up in North Conway, New Hampshire, and this is the Miss B's Blueberry Ale. Okay, this one comes in at 4.9%. 4.9 seems to be a pretty steady number. We're hanging out around that number there today. So let's go ahead and give this one a shot. So the nice thing about fruit beers and the sours is that you get a lot of not only the different flavor profiles that you don't typically get with a lot of the pale ales and the lagers, but you also end up with those different color profiles. So in this one, it's got more of a pinkish tinge to it. I think blueberry blue. Actually, if you actually look inside a blueberry, it's definitely got a pink flush to it. So that's evident here. It's hard to pick up on the blueberry, and honestly, I think that's primarily because the pollen is killing me right now. Seasonal allergies are a bitch. There it is. So the nice thing about blueberry is it pairs very well with the bitterness of the hops, in particular with the ale yeast that are brewed with it. So there's blueberry lagers out there. This one happens to be an ale, but there are blueberry lagers out there, and it does the same thing, but those tend to be on the sweeter side rather than the bitter side. Again, refreshing. Subtle blueberry flavor, adding to that bitterness on the palate. Definitely get a little bit more of that blueberry taste on the aftertaste after a minute or two. So it's a good beer. It is refreshing. Not my favorite blueberry beer, but I will drink this. So nothing against Mo Mountain because they have pretty good stuff. but I've had better blueberry ales out there, and hopefully I'll be able to talk about one of those pretty soon. But cheers, Mo Mountain. You guys do a good job. All right, so let's move on to the last one we're going to talk about. This is from Wells, Maine. This is a brewery called Hidden Cove, and these guys are really good too. Friendly brewery, all local. They own a bunch of sister restaurants as well, that if you're up in the area, Verano's Italian and Billy's Chowder House, they're all right there by the brewery. They're all within like half a mile of each other, not even. So great places to visit. And of course, this brewery is a lot of fun to go to when they are open to capacity. They get an awesome game room with a bunch of arcade games, and like shuffleboard and stuff like that. So it's really cool brewery to visit. And they do a lot of the lighter stuff. And this one in particular is the Everyday Honey Wheat Ale. All right, and this one comes to us at 4% with 20 IBU. So this one's really light. This is the lightest we've had today. And you gotta love the honey. Honey's a great summer flavor to match with that wheat. And it's gonna give it a great flavor profile. So there we go. Nice yellow, crisp, clear, nice thicker side of the white head, but it's still there. Looks delicious. Now, it doesn't have a lot for smell. I'm not picking up on a lot of the honey notes or anything like that. I smell some grassy notes, but there's not much there, implying that this is definitely on the lighter side. And it sure is. Subtle on the honey, but it definitely adds to the sweetness of this beer. More so, this is definitely more so on the side of the wheat ale rather than the honey side, which is fine. But that honey makes that beer nice, sweet, and it pops it just enough. But this is light. This is again, another refreshing summer beer. All these have been very refreshing beers. So if you get a chance, give any of these a try. This is my last one that I'm going to talk about today. Give these guys a try, any one of them. Again, we're talking about breweries from Maine, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and North Carolina today. All wonderful beers. These are all breweries that I've had experience with in the past, whether I visited them or I've drank other beers from them before today. All good stuff. So thanks everybody for joining in. Thank you to all my fans for keeping this going. I've really enjoyed all these talking beer episodes. I hope this has been informative for everybody, all the stuff that we've done so far. We're going to be closing up these pretty soon. I'll be talking about the last few summer beers that I got over the next few weeks. But pretty much after middle of July, we're going to stop with the talking beer in hopes that this virus stuff is starting to subside enough that we can get back out, and we'll be doing more professional videos and content for you guys, for all my fans out there. So thank you all for continuing to stick with me through all this stuff. Cheers. Get out there, go have an adventure, try new things, and please drink responsibly. Enjoy your summer, and I'll see you all soon. Oh, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers that are fans out there. That is coming up tomorrow. By the time this post, it might be Father's Day anyway, or past by the time you see it. But cheers, everybody. Please drink responsibly. I'll see you all later.